Hey guys, so I wanted to shoot an update video. I'm not sure the last time I shot one. I don't think it was that long ago, considering things that have happened to change the course of my desired path. But anyways, um, I'm pretty disgusted and upset. Um, for starters, I started my tool restoration video. That's one thing of the update. I didn't quite have enough vinegar, 3 gallons, and it wasn't enough to cover all the tools. I'm not too broken up about it, and I'm not buying any more vinegar. If that works, it works. I figure I'll give it 3 weeks, take out the ones that need to be cleaned, and the ones that didn't quite soak, I just throw them back in. Whatever. So, this, like I said, this is going to be an update video, and I think I'm going to tag it in the interesting finds, because I have been working in the basement a little bit. So, not that much, because, well, without my glasses, I kind of have to guess at anything at a distance away. And I don't. This place is already dark and dirty, and last thing I need is tetanus. So, I've been kind of laying off a little bit on any of that kind of work. But, for interesting finds 1, I got a pile of power tools, which, of course, you can't really see. But I may test them today. It may be in the video. I got a jigsaw. You want to play a game? Sorry. Fan of the movies. Well, the first couple, and then it got overplayed, like, Freddy, Jason, and Nightmare on Elm Street, and, they were good, the first couple ones, and the ideas would have been good, and they would have been better if made later, but the whole point of this thing is they overplayed them, and now they're ruined. So, anyways, an old drill. I mean, this is heavy metal body drill. Like, this is probably, my grandfather might have made this himself. It's so old. And a finishing sander. I'm not sure how that differentiates from an actual regular sander. There's that. And I can't lift it because the cord's tangled. But I got this guy. It's a circular saw. And it looks relatively new. So, that's one thing I'm working on. That, to see which ones of those work. And if they work, I'm going to use them. If they don't work, I'm going to rip them apart. Take out the good metals. Toss the rest out. Well, my video camera's been acting up. If I shoot a video for longer than 2 to 3 minutes, it doesn't seem to want to save it to the card. I don't know why. I blame the deity of choice. It's got to be their fault, because who else could it be? It can't possibly be my fault. Anyways, that doesn't. Just scrap that. Don't even worry about that. So, some other good and bad news. I got my test results back. So, my blood work came back clean, completely fine, supposedly. My X-rays came back, and they were pretty fine. I have, out of everything that happened, I have a contusion on my pinky finger. Now, I don't want to, what is it called? What's the expression? Look a gift horse in the mouth, jinx myself, because, everything turned out to be okay. But I don't believe that I should feel the way I feel half the times if everything's okay. Like, I know my diet isn't the greatest. My exercise probably isn't the greatest. But in comparison to most other air breathers, I take fairly good care of myself. So, I don't know what could be causing that. What could be causing the various problems I've been having. But, I mean, I'm not a doctor, and I can't fix it. And the doctors either are, don't know what's wrong, or there actually isn't anything wrong, or they ain't qualified to have their position, whatever that might, whichever, whatever you, whatever thought you want to insert there is fine. I don't really care. But that's gonna be it for right now. I want to make sure the video saves. I don't want it to get too long and then have to reshoot it. So, this is gonna be it for this particular segment. I gotta head to the backyard for the rest of it. Alright, so some other things. Something that's getting under my skin a little bit. I think I'm figuring out a little bit of how I'm being manipulated. I don't really know why yet, but so here's a list of things that is frowned upon by the household. They don't want me to go in the woods. They don't want me to drink. They don't want me to smoke. They don't want me to go outside and tear things apart. They don't want me to tear things apart inside the house. They don't want me to build new things. And they don't want me to sit on the computer all day. So, what exactly am I supposed to do? It seems that if, in particular, my grandmother, because she's the only one here, if it was up to her, I would sit in the dark bedroom all day and do nothing. And, you know, I'm kind of upset about that. It's irritating. But I just got to figure out how to keep peace, so to speak, and still do the things I want to do, which is a task in itself, because I figured out that I stopped doing things I want to do because I get tired of hearing the complaining. So I don't know if she's complaining to get me to stop doing what I do, or if that's just coming natural. I can't wrap my head around that. But I should really make a playlist of, like, you know, what's being done that gets on my nerves, and just have a playlist for that. But, you know, there's not much I can do about it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say as far as updates are concerned that isn't right in front of me. I don't get my glasses for another 2 weeks, then I'll be able to see again. That's something. All my medical stuff is A-okay, whether that's the truth or not. I'm kind of just glad it is, I guess. Less stress, I suppose. The lawnmower. So, the lawnmower is something else that is irritating. I made a new gasket for the lawnmower out of silicone maker, and I got it running. I did. And I started here, and I went all the way, keep going, almost there, to here, and it shut off. So I took it back apart, and I found out that the gasket that I made broke and got sucked into the intake, and I got it out and everything was peachy, and I tried to make a new one. So I took my bicycle tires, the old ones, the spare ones for a different bike, and I cut the rubber off of them and took the inner tubes out, and I cut a piece of the inner tube out, and I made a new gasket out of that because I figured it would be a little bit more sturdy, but it still wouldn't work. So I got fed up with it, and after, probably 4 consecutive days of trying to fix it, I just ripped it apart. So now it's a cart for my furnace. I took the motor off, and I've been breaking it down. And we'll go back to the interesting find since I'm here. I found all this cable in the basement. I don't know
some of it's extension cords that are good, and some of it's extension cords that ain't no good. The big one I'm going to break down and take in for scrap because, well, I think it, yeah, the end's already off of it. So, yeah, I could fix that. Where is it at in the camera? There. I could fix it and put a new end on it. But I don't need an extension cord that's 300, feet, yards long, meters, whatever. And I got this here motor out of the basement. I don't know what it's for, but I intend to rip it apart whether it works or not, because I don't need a motor that big for anything. Now, the furnace, I think the problem was the air intake. I think that's why it's not getting hot enough. I think my hair dryer's finally, crapping out on me, which it got some pretty good use and it still works, so I can still use it. But I plan to build a new air blower at some point. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do that. I did when I was scrapping for cleanup. I did take the motor out of a fan that worked, and I figured I'd take the fan motor and put smaller, stiffer blades on it and crank it up to high, and it'd probably have more output than the hair dryer. I just have to build a housing for it so the air is directed into one small location, so I get the most out of it. The bike tires that are left, I haven't tested them, but I'm almost 100% sure the rims are aluminum. So I'm going to cut those apart. I'm going to do that off camera because, well, my camera setup, and I'm not going to be able to, you guys won't be able to see me do that. You probably could, but it'd be kind of boring. You've seen people use angle grinders before. So I liquidated the lawnmower. I liquidated the bike tires. So those are some things. I kept some parts from the lawnmower that I'm going to give to somebody, because I'm sure they're parts that usually break, like the pull cord, the blades there. I might save that for something. If not, I'm going to throw it away. The sponge from the air filter. There's a couple pieces I kept that might be useful. So here's how I'm going to make the what am I doing? What am I doing? Here we go. Here's how I'm going to make the fan blades. I'm going to draw a better circle. I'm going to cut out said circle twice. Make fan blades out of it. Glue them together. And somehow fasten it to this motor. Sorry, my grandmother decided to come out and grace me with her presence. So, this motor is a 3-speed fan motor for a big box fan. So it gets a good amount of torque. So once I make the blades out of this, and I make sure they're stiff enough, and I fasten them to that, I will have a working fan. This is another interesting find. Look at that. This is one crazy screwdriver. It only has 3 of the bits, but it's a ratchet screwdriver, and it has an extending thingy. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I love it. I'm going to keep it. I might even throw this in my backpack instead of that fancy one I got, because it'll have more torque. I found all this brass in the basement, which will be melted down after I break off some of the other parts, because I'm not having the alloy mess up again. I'm gonna make sure it's clean. I think that about does it for the update and the interesting finds. I found an extension cord I'm keeping. It's probably 10 yards, 10 meters, ballpark. and that's more than I'll ever need. So, oh, and that microwave's still here. Somebody said they needed a working microwave. So, and he's a guy that scraps too. So I said he could have it, but if I find out he scraps it, that I'll never give him anything again, because I'll scrap it myself at that fact. I told him if he doesn't pick it up, I'm gonna go tell him if he doesn't pick it up by the time I get my glasses, that it's going bye-byes. Because I don't mind helping somebody out if it's genuine, but if somebody just wants it to keep me from having it, that's just being a jerk. Yeah, well, not any one person's to blame for most of the things that's going on anyway. So, yeah. I'm gonna end the video there. I'm gonna cut those bike rims off camera. Strip the... Oh, I'm gonna figure out a way... projects I have in mind. I gotta fix my hot wire cutter at some point. I gotta make a better ball mill, because the one I have isn't gonna work. The fan and its housing I'm gonna make to have a new air supply for my furnace. And I think that's the tool restoration. I think that's pretty much the upcoming events. Like, I have 2 fan motors that work. One I'm going to use for the ball mill. One I'm using for the fan, for the blower. And that should be the upcoming events. And I don't see anything else past that at the moment. I do have enough aluminum for an aluminum melt, but I wanted to finish ripping these 2 motors apart first. I don't want to do anything too dirty today, because I showered this morning and I don't feel like getting scummy, and I figure tomorrow's a good day to get scummy. Yep. I'll probably construct most of the motor off camera for the blower. I'll tear apart all that stuff off camera, and I'll be stripping that wire and cutting those rims off camera. The wire, I need to make some sort of wire stripping device as well that I can manage, because I can't afford to buy anything. Not really, because, well, obvious reasons. Alright, before this gets too lengthy, probably approaching about 20 minutes, I'm gonna let you guys go, and yeah, you're not actually gonna see me do anything in this video, just a bunch of interesting finds and projects to come, update on different inconveniences and things in my life that are either blessings or curses. It's hard to tell them apart anymore. But, alright guys, have a great day, great life, and catch you next time. Alright, so I'm going to take one more moment of your time. So I tested all the tools, which I wasn't sure if I was going to do or not, but I did. And they all worked, except for this guy. So, that guy is getting ripped apart. And another part of the update that I forgot to tell you. I found my bag. I lost my camera bag and the extra memory card. I set it somewhere, and without my glasses I couldn't see it, so I found it. So there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Oh, and the bike rims are actually steel, so they're not aluminum. So that was a big, huge waste. Well, but one less job I gotta do, or one less job I'll feel obligated to do, I suppose. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Later on.